Hey, welcome to another video. I'm Canwell, and in this video I'm going to talk about why most men are irrelevant. 80% of men are irrelevant. Now that's a cold hard fact of life. Women are attracted to the top 20% of men and they exclude the other 80%. Even unattractive women are gonna go looking for the top 20% of men. They found this consistently in research. When researchers analyzed dating apps, they discovered that most women gravitate towards the top 15 to 20% of men. Now, this doesn't mean if you're not getting any attraction from women and women don't like you that you can't change your life. Just because you are in the bottom 80% of men doesn't mean that you can't move up into the top 20% of men. This is the beautiful thing about being a man. Right? Women are granted great power at an early age for doing very little. A woman in her teens and 20s can get a lot of power just by being beautiful. Now, women can have a lot of power very easily at a very young age, but they also lose their power just as quickly, and it doesn't last as long. A woman in her 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s has less and less power and influence. Now, for men, it's a lot harder to get power, but when we acquire power, we can keep it for a lifetime. And indeed, we can keep it for generations if we pass it on to our offspring. So this is important to keep in mind. Men are not granted and blessed with immediate power, but we can acquire power. We can build power by rebuilding our lives. And essentially, if you can become a magician, you can transform nothing into something. You can rebuild your body, you can rebuild your mind, you can create opportunities out of nowhere. This is a wonderful thing about being a man. Whereas women are either blessed with beauty or they're not. And then that beauty fades after 10 or 15 years and it's gone. And they're back where they started. And so yes, most men are going to be perceived as fairly irrelevant, but that doesn't mean you always have to be irrelevant. This is one of the great struggles in life, our desire as a man to find relevancy in the world. It's why men are so ambitious, it's why we struggle to move up in the world. It's why men are always trying to create things, because we're always trying to develop and move forward and build ourselves up and build up our resources, and we're fighting to acquire power and resources. Now, just because you might feel irrelevant now doesn't mean you're going to be irrelevant in 2 years from now or 5 years from now. I was completely irrelevant in my 20s, but then you acquire skills and knowledge which can help people, and then you suddenly get some relevancy. And this is true for many, many men. The more skills you acquire, the more knowledge you acquire, the more relevant you become. And then your life dramatically changes. So even if you feel like you don't really have much going for you and you're in the bottom 80% of men, it's never too late to transform your life and to build yourself up into something magical. It's very, very difficult for women to do this because women are granted a lot of power and beauty in the short term, but men, if we build ourselves up the right way, we can have power and influence for a lifetime. So this is something to keep in mind. If you want to know more about this, I highly recommend you get a copy of my book, Atomic Attraction. It's based on over 120 scientific studies and 40 real-life case studies. You can pick up your copy today by clicking on the link below. And don't forget, I do phone and email consultations. You can book a consultation with me on my website, develofattraction.com.